third epistle of John says, "Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health just as your soul prospers." I believe in prosperity. I am a prosperity preacher because I believe God paid an incredible price to beat the power of poverty off of our lives. If you were to look socially in our nation, you will find that most divorces happen over money or the lack thereof. Issues of money produce emotions in us that bring about negativity and feelings that many of us just cannot deal with. And yet oftentimes we are looking for the rescue from God, now realizing that many times it's a matter of how we handle our money, how we deal with our money, and how we use that which God has given us to produce even more. One of the large and major fallacies of our nation has to do with a thing called a debit card. The abuses of a debit card, you perhaps have heard me talk about before, are multiplied, where people stick this debit card into an ATM machine, get money out, and actually think that the slip that comes out of that ATM machine tells you your actual balance in your checkbook. And thus, we spend in an impulsive manner, in an impulsive way, without planning, without investing, and without knowing what we really have to spend. Instead, I think there's some very simple things to begin a road of prosperity for you. Number one, if you do not know how to balance your checkbook, there are people, even in this church, that would love to sit with you and help you. There are people who know how to do that. If you'll shirk or get rid of the embarrassment of it and realize that a part of your prosperity is to learn to balance your checkbook. Secondly, keep track of your finances, where the money comes in from and where the money goes out. Next, always get a receipt when you use your debit card. The other day I was at a Starbucks store and I was standing in line, and I watched 3 people in line in front of me take their debit cards, use their debit card for the transaction. The person who was taking their card, their money, said, "Would you like a receipt?" And all 3 of them turned it down. When she came to me, I purchased a cup of coffee, and when I got done, she said, "Would you like your receipt? I have to ask that." I said, "Absolutely. There's no way I can account for this spending unless I do have a receipt." And she looked at me strangely, because I'm one of the minority that actually takes the receipt and puts that amount into my checkbook. The laziness of not accounting for your finances means that you're probably not going to account for your prosperity. So therefore, my simple start towards down the road of prosperity for you is keep your balance up in your checkbook. Don't overdraft, don't overdraw, because it's when you don't account for it, that's when the bank begins to start its process of charging you on ungodly amounts of money for services. Services that they should never have charged you for if you had kept your balance up. So don't spend money that you don't have. And don't pretend like you've got it when you don't have it. Keep track of your finances. Don't go to the ATM machines to get money out so that and spend as if that's the amount you have, because there are still checks out and money out there that you've spent that isn't recorded in that balance as yet. Be careful about those things, because those things I'm talking about develop bad habits which cause your poverty. Your poverty comes because you overdraft your account. By the time you stop it, I've known plenty of people that have spent hundreds of dollars on one incident of overdrafting their bank account. You can actually be one of those people who never overdrafts, because you simply don't spend money that you don't have. Therefore, the cost of living goes way down because you're only spending the money that you do have. It's just a simple step of prosperity for you. Praise God for the income. Praise God for the ability to use it.